Hey guys, welcome to our channel. This is the story of a young lad who changed his rags to riches with the help of his uncle's daily mockery. So sit tight and enjoy the ride because this is going to be one hell of a story. He laughed at me in front of the whole family, called me useless, broke, and a burden. He said, "You'll never be anything in life," but what he didn't know was, one day, I'd walk into his office, not as his nephew, but as the man who just bought his entire company. This is my story. Before I tell you how I turned his insults into my motivation, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video for more real-life revenge and success stories. I grew up in a poor household. My father worked odd jobs, and my mother stitched clothes at night just to keep food on the table. But my uncle, my dad's elder brother, he was wealthy. He owned a thriving manufacturing business, lived in a huge house, and drove expensive cars. But he also had this nasty habit of flaunting his wealth in front of us, especially me, his youngest brother's son. Every family gathering was the same. He would boast about his success while mocking me. "Look at your cousin. He wears branded clothes, and you. Still in cheap hand-me-downs." He would say those words so everyone could hear. It was torture, but it wasn't just about the clothes. It was about everything. My uncle made sure everyone knew I was the poor kid. He never missed a chance to remind me, "You'll never rise above your poverty. Don't dream too big." Those words cut deep. I hated him. I despised him for thinking I wouldn't amount to anything. But instead of breaking me, his words fueled me. I promised myself I would show him, prove to him that I could succeed despite my humble beginnings. By the time I turned 18, I knew one thing: I would never beg him for approval. I was determined to make it on my own terms, no matter how difficult it seemed. My uncle always said I lacked ambition, that I wasn't smart enough to build anything substantial. So I decided to prove him wrong. I wanted to start a business, something that would show him I wasn't just a poor kid. But I didn't have much experience or connections. I was just an 18-year-old kid with big dreams and an even bigger chip on my shoulder. But I was willing to work hard. I needed a starting point, something to kick off my entrepreneurial journey. Then I had a light bulb moment. Why not use my passion for fixing gadgets to turn my hobby into a small business? I've been tinkering and repairing devices since I was a kid. People in my neighborhood would bring their broken TVs, radios, and clocks, and I'd fix them for them. I was good at it. People trusted me with their precious devices. So why not expand on this skill? The idea took root and began to grow. I saved up my meager earnings, borrowed some money from a friend, and rented a small space in town. I called it Tech Fix. It was my very first official business. My uncle scoffed when I told him about my plans. "A repair shop, that's all you aspire to be." "Pathetic," he said dismissively. I pretended to shrug off his comments, but inside I burned with determination. I channeled all that negative energy from my uncle into building Tech Fix. I poured my heart and soul into it. Day and night, I worked. I fixed electronics, earning every coin. I was dedicated. Meanwhile, my friends were out partying, wasting their time and money. I was holed up in my shop reading books on business and finance. I studied successful entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, Jack Ma, and even local tycoons who built empires from scratch. I devoured their biographies, dissecting their strategies, analyzing their growth tactics. I wanted to learn from their successes and, more importantly, their failures. I realized that true success wasn't just about profits and fame. It was about resilience, adaptability, and continuous learning. From these books, I learned how to manage finances, how to build a team, and most importantly, how to think like a successful entrepreneur. My knowledge grew, but I kept working at the shop. I wasn't satisfied with just fixing electronics. I wanted more. I wanted to design innovative solutions to create products that would solve real problems in my community. With each passing day, my confidence grew. I began taking calculated risks, expanding my product line, and experimenting with new technologies. Soon enough, TechFix wasn't just a repair shop. It was a hub for innovative tech solutions. Customers flocked to me, drawn by my unique blend of traditional values and cutting-edge ideas. I treated every customer like family, offering fair prices and unparalleled service. My reputation spread. TechFix became the go-to destination for all things technology. The shop that my uncle thought was just a silly hobby of mine was now a thriving business. He tried to invest in me, but I turned him down. I didn't need his money or his approval. I was building an empire of my own. But my greatest satisfaction came from knowing I succeeded despite the odds stacked against me. I proved to myself and everyone who doubted me that I could achieve anything if I set my mind to it. Meanwhile, my uncle continued to mock me, unaware that I was secretly buying back my dignity with every passing day. But as my star was rising, my uncle's empire was crumbling. He had grown arrogant, careless with money, treating employees like trash, and ignoring the changing market trends. I saw it all from afar, the warning signs, the dwindling customers, the disgruntled employees. What I lacked in experience, I made up for with fresh perspective and innovative ideas. In hindsight, I believe my uncle's constant mockery was a blessing in disguise. It taught me grit, determination, and resilience. Instead of crushing me, it fueled my fire, driving me to succeed against all odds. Then fate dealt me a remarkable hand. I received a call one afternoon. My uncle's business was drowning in debt. Investors were pulling away, customers had vanished, and he was desperate. I felt a twinge of sympathy, but mostly triumph. Here was the man who belittled me for years, reduced to tears begging for help. But I wasn't there to gloat. I was there to offer him a choice that would change both our lives forever. I proposed a deal. I would buy his company, pay off his debts, and give his employees a way out. In exchange, he would agree to stop mocking me and my family. It was a fair deal. He had nothing left to lose and everything to gain. After a tense negotiation, he agreed. I signed the papers that day and officially took over my uncle's business. I paid off his debts, honored his contracts, and restructured the company. My uncle watched all this unfold, his face a mixture of shock and disbelief. The man who claimed I'd never amount to anything had just sold his entire empire to me. The following Monday, I walked into his office. He froze, his face drained of color. He stammered, unable to speak. When I finally addressed him, my voice was calm, devoid of any malice. You told me I'd never be anything. Today, I own everything you built. He couldn't respond. There was no witty comeback or harsh words. His arrogance was gone, replaced by a profound shame. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt sorry for him. He had lost not just his business, but his pride. Looking back, I realized my success was never about humiliating my uncle or seeking revenge. It was about proving to myself that I could defy the odds. It was about showing the world that poverty doesn't determine destiny, and that every obstacle can be overcome with determination and hard work. If there's anything I want you to take away from my story, it's this: never let anyone dim your shine. You have the power to turn your life around, to defy expectations, and rewrite your story. Stay focused, work hard, and most importantly, believe in yourself. Success is the ultimate revenge. Let your achievements speak louder than their doubts. And remember, the person who mocked you yesterday might just be looking up to you today. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Your support keeps me motivated to share more amazing stories. Until next time.